It is a beautiful rainy day here in Maryland, and I wanted to share some thoughts on AI and what it means to be an artist. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. And as hard as it is to say and accept, I actually believe artists should embrace AI. And I say this as someone who has spent decades working on my craft and encouraging other artists to do that as well. But at the same time, I'm looking at the world as it is, and artificial intelligence is here to stay. It's going to disrupt how we live our lives. It's going to disrupt how we do things, including the arts, which makes it difficult for us to swallow in many ways because the imperfections that we see in an artist's work, or knowing the struggle and skill that it takes to, say, play an instrument or paint something beautiful, it defines part of what makes us human, right? Humans are imperfect. So the reasons why I believe artists should embrace AI, despite all of that, is a matter of reality. And if we, as in artists, use it right, we can actually amplify our work in ways that we could have never imagined. AI is very quickly becoming the tool to replace tasks, bottlenecks, like the tedious parts of creating art. So for those of us who were around pre-AI, we are in a really strong position because we understand the fundamentals of the art that we're creating. The composition, the storytelling, the rhythm. We have that trained ear, we have that trained eye, that trained sense. But for up-and-coming artists who haven't gone through the rigor of perfecting an art, a skill, I honestly don't have an answer for that because I still believe, and maybe this is just my pre-AI bias, I still believe that the rigor of learning a skill, painting, playing an instrument, writing, is still very important developmentally for any artists. But the problem is, reality doesn't care about my opinion or what I wish and hope for. Reality is that up-and-coming artists will have access to these amazing tools, these powerful tools, and many, if not most, will prefer to use these tools over a rigorous study or training or practice of a skill. So is it good that the barrier of entry into the arts is lowered? Yes, absolutely. I believe that generally speaking, it's a good thing. And up-and-coming artists can explore and experiment without having to waste time and money. It's actually pretty incredible how accessible these AI tools are making it for up-and-coming artists. The thing is, I believe artists, especially up-and-coming artists, will have, they're going to have a unique and different challenge. It's not going to be like learning the skill that's the challenge. They have to be much more intentional and honest with what they want to do with their art and examine more closely what their purpose is as an artist, which isn't easy to do when you have all these amazing tools at your disposal to make beautiful, amazing end products. Because pre-AI artists like myself, we were in many ways defined by the struggles and rigor of becoming that artist. We found our voice by learning how to paint or write. It's actually hard to learn how to produce a song or write a good story or paint something that only exists in your imagination. So how will up-and-coming artists find their voice, their genuine self as an artist? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. But the reality is AI is here to stay. And I just hope pre-AI artists find ways to use it to amplify their genuine self, their real voice, and current up-and-coming artists somehow figure out a way to find their own voice in the absence of much of the rigor and the struggle we pre-AI artists had to go through. I don't know. What do you think? Should artists embrace or resist AI? I'd love to hear your thoughts.